What's up, everybody? It is time for an update about something special. Remember the video where I showed you the beginning of the performance after 10,000 kilometers? We are now at the 15 or 16,000 kilometer marker. And I'm taking this opportunity to show you the result of a 1,000, 1,500, a lot of miles, because I drove to Milan, up and down to my son after I washed the car when I came back. Switzerland. I went to Switzerland. That was, of course, Supercar Orner Circle. I got a video after this for Supercar Orner Circle, but this one is for the maintenance of something special. We're going to dive into the video I prepared after the drive. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to imagine these are not normal bug-in packs. These are bug-in packs in high speeds. I drive 600 kilometers over the German Autobahn. And I try to accumulate as much bugs as I can at high speeds to see how the coating would perform with bug impacts over 100 miles an hour. The result of the drive, the wheels, black, powder coated with some some clear coat on it. They are still unprotected because I want to show you the damages that wheel washing does on unprotected wheels, and to show you a way to keep black gloss wheels glossy without those toilet brushes inside. The roof is covered in PPF. One side is coated with something from Labo Cosmetica, maybe or maybe not, coming out very soon. And there is PPF on the left fender. I'm going to use a product here, one of the ready-to-use products that are coming out very soon. And I want to show you what this product, not so much the performance, but how it behaves on protected surfaces. So if a hydrophobic surface is very hydrophobic, it is very difficult for a liquid to stay there and to keep working, because it could bead off. And in this case, I wanted to see how well it performed on a protected car and to see how well it would perform on bug impacts. The wheels is a bonus. I'm not saying that this product could substitute for a wheel cleaner, but it has some potential, because as you see, I'm spraying the product, there is little to no foam. So this product is focusing on its surfactants, doing everything at that surface at maximum effectivity. So no foaming, no bubbles, no stuff that makes the dwelling time necessary for longer. Moving to the roof, bird impact on the roof, where I can now give you a clear example what it looks like if you spray a liquid on a hydrophobic surface. It is going to be difficult to get a homogeneous application. 50% of the roof has been covered with coating and PPF, and the other side only PPF. And as you can see, the difference in heat is amazing. There is no damp coming from the coated side, and there is a lot of vapor evaporation from the non-coated side. I'm going to leave in the middle if that is the coating doing the work, or it's just a coincidence from a hydrophobic surface. We will see further on in the video how well this is still performing. How long do I have the roof on? I think the roof is now 6,000 kilometers. Anyway, we move to the rinsing. Properly rinsing products off the surface, making sure that those surfactants are gone. No need to neutralize anything, except if that is mandatory by the manufacturer. Now, we make everything rinsable with water, and therefore speeding up the process, eliminating maybe an extra product, getting off those surfactants. Properly rinsing is very important. It gives you also the idea of the performance of a product and the beading and sheeting of this product. The hood has been covered with Blindo, and on top something special. It's not going to be a topper, but I just wanted to see if it can do as a topper. Now, while everybody's focusing on the nice beads, I am focusing on something very different called roll-off angle. Now, hydrophobics is contact angle to see how small or big a droplet becomes by the use of water. But with a roll-off angle, it becomes a little bit more interesting to see how well or little mass a droplet of water is necessary to roll off the surface, therefore not creating any water spots. On the rims, still, like I said, still unprotected. They have been washed only with a mitt, and you will see the damages from a mitt that I have been using to correctly wash the wheels, and that it will still make damages on black gloss wheels. Side of the door has not been pre-washed, and you can clearly see next to the door that there is still dirt accumulating. No pre-wash has been sprayed, and on the left side of the fender also. Now, further on in the video, I will show you a little bit what I mean with diminishing hydrophobics, where it could be a possibility to start using Purifica in a dilution of 1 to 400. Just as a little bit of an aspirin against lime scale. Now, the rinsing on the roof, no surprise there. The roof does not take very much damage from driving, except for the stuff coming from above. And I'm not the guy that shows you 50-50s, because 50-50s and paint and tape, I'm not the guy that wants to do that very often. But the coating is performing perfectly well. We got some light sheeting on the non-coated side of the PPF. Here on the door, everything is fine. And also here, very slowly, you can see that the droplets have a little more difficulty dropping down. This is the first step of diminishing performance of a coating. You should act immediately. You should not wait until it becomes less. Also here in the left fender in the back, you can see there is still some road film left. So there is none other way than use a contact wash to get rid of that road film. For the shampoo, I have used something that is also going to come out in a certain dilution for a certain substrate. I'm not going to say what, when, whatever. But important thing is that it's working, and the smell is something new. That is going to be a first time for everybody that's going to smell this type of a smell. It's the first time. And what I'm looking for during the wash is to see how well the water is breaking up. So those little breaking of the water, the more perfectly round that little that little opening of the water is, the more I am convinced there are normal minerals left and the original hydrophobics are back to its normal splendor. I'm not using a correct wash technique. I got one bucket, one mitt. I wash everything. I dunk it in. I understand that 2 buckets would be better, the pre-wash would be better, but I have to test it in real life. And in real life, we know customers don't follow the rules. They fix their own rules, they fix their own setup. Beautiful round, this is the one I want to see. Nice and round, breaking of the water, showing me no more obstruction of minerals. Perfect, absolutely stunning. Side of the car, moving there to remove that road film. And then we will finally see in the final clip of the video if that is actually enough to bring back the beads. And I hope to give you an example of slightly diminishing hydrophobics, so you understand when it becomes time to use Purifica. And the sooner you use Purifica, or the earlier before the breaking of the ceramic starts, the less of the product you will need. So it's highly likely that in the first maintenance wash, in a very short period of time, a 1 to 400, so that's 1 ounce in a bucket of water, is enough to take off that little amount of calcium and magnesium or what else it is on the surface. Final rinse after the wash. Now you can really see what I mean with contact angle versus roll-off angle. We have nice tight beads, but the most important thing is that they are going to fall off. No more water means no water spots. No more water means less drying, less touching, less friction, no drying aid. I don't understand drying aids. People are still trying to convince me to use a drying aid. Never ever will I use a drying aid. There's not going anything on my ceramic coating if it's well performing. Window had an experimental glass coating from Labo Cosmetica that is in development, but too finicky for application. And especially with the people that don't follow the rules, they will not probably have any success. The sheeting on the roof has improved a little bit. I was not expecting a lot, but a little bit at least. The breaking of the water versus the left side where the coating is still there performing as it should be. On the back, no issues. We have the 15%, 10% version extra solvent on the back. On the fenders, we have the 15% extra solvent to see how the difference is in performance if we add solvent to improve the experience of application. And now I hope to show you here on the side of the door. Yes, there we can see right in the middle where the water is accumulating like a mini sheet. This is the first stage. This is the moment to act. Do not wait any longer. Do not add something that creates hydrophobics. First, take off everything that you can. Use the 3 pH until it's maximum before you start adding topping products. This is amazing. It's 16,000 kilometers. This is already the most extensive test of a spray coating ever done in the history of detailing channels, because nobody is proving this. Nobody is showing you this. The performance on the side. Only hoods and roofs. I mean, my God, it's the simplest place to perform. Side of the car, behind the wheels. Okay, I think I finished the round. I finished the update for something special. Not someone special, but something special. There we go. Coated side also needs something. Okay, guys, update number 2 about something special. Hope to see you next time with the next update. Keep watching. My name is Reggie Cox. See you next time. Ciao.